Thank you for joining us, Jake. As always, please use the raise hand function, and I'll call on you. We can get started with questions. Steve, will you get started off?
Sure will. Hey, Jake, you just kind of tell us, what it was like for you guys to get that first 2 touchdowns really quick to, get that first half started when you guys scored 30 points in the first half.
Yeah, absolutely. It was huge, immeasurably huge. As you saw, we needed it in the second half. But yeah, to jump on them early like that, they're a great team. We knew they were going to come out hot and ready to go. So we knew we had to go ahead and get on them early. And we did that thanks to Teo, Gunn, big play by Daryl Harding to get us rolling. I mean, that's huge in any game, but especially against those guys who we knew they were going to be jacked up and ready to go.
Max Rago.
Hey, Jake, you had a career best day today. How does it feel having this type of night against, this sort of defense with such a, prestigious history that Northwestern's got?
Yeah. It feels great statistically, or individually, it feels good. But to be honest with you guys, man, it feels good to get the win. I mean, I wouldn't give a darn if it was, 0 receptions for 0 yards. Come out with a win like that against those guys was huge. Huge for this program, huge for these guys down here in the locker room. But yeah, happy I could help, but just happy we could get that win.
Jim Sumner.
Okay, here I am. Jack, I want to ask you about the first half. It seems like the Duke game plan was maybe to take advantage of the heat against the Northern team and really go hurry up and try to wear out their defense. Was that the plan? And if so, how did it work?
I don't know if I would call that the plan. Those are world-class athletes over there on the other side. But yeah, coming from Chicago, I don't think we're an up-tempo team. So that's what we're going to do every Saturday. Now it helped that it was 85 and hot, especially with those guys coming down from Chicago. Maybe weren't used to it. We knew that might be an edge coming in, but it wasn't necessarily part of the game plan that, we're going to go ahead and hurry up here to see if we can gas them. But it looked like it might have worked in our favor a little bit there in the first half.
Shanahan.
Hey, Jake, can you talk about, all the maturation of the offense with all the conversions for first downs at important times?
Yeah. You gotta give a shout out to Eli Pankel, who essentially kind of won this game for us along with the defense, who made numerous huge stands in the second half. But yeah, that was, I think, definitely the biggest catch of his career. I couldn't be happier for him. This team couldn't be happier for him. That dude comes in and works his butt off, and is a playmaker, and he knows it. So to see him come alive in that situation where we needed him to go up and make a play like that was huge. So proud of him because he deserves it. Now, with that being said, we had some big time conversions late in the fourth with Teo. Dude is a workhorse. Hand the ball to him, he's going to get you a first down. And then, Jordan Moore came in and made some plays for us when we needed to turn a little bit of clock. So that was huge. But yeah, second half definitely was a little sloppy, but to be able to come through in those, third down situations in the second half was huge.
Steve.
Yeah, Jake, speaking of that, on that subject, I wanted to talk to you about the second half. And, things weren't going well for you guys, but you guys showed some poise to get the plays needed to win the game. Where did that come from? Where did you guys talk about the sidelines, even though you weren't scoring points and it got kind of dicey there at the end?
Yeah, no doubt. I would attribute that to our maturity as a team and as an offense. This year, we have some older guys, some young guys that have stepped up and made plays, but on the sideline, it was just go out and do what we need to do to win this game, which was just churn out some first downs, churn some clock. And, we did that. So we definitely weren't as productive as we wanted to be in the second half. However, we were definitely big when we needed to be. And I attribute that to Gunnar and his leadership, and that front. Those guys are workhorses up there, and they were going to work on that Northwestern front. They had a great game, so can't give enough props to those guys.
All right. Thank you for your time, Jake. We're going to
Thanks, guys.
transition over to DeWayne Carter. DeWayne, thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
We'll get started with Steve Wiseman.
Hey, DeWayne, I first want to talk to you about the play in the fourth quarter when you forced the fumble. You had to run a long way. The quarterback got through the line, had a pretty decent gain, but you came a long way and got that fumble. Just what were you thinking on that play and to go that far and make that play?
Yeah, so first, it goes back to culture, something we've been building the offseason in the summer is attitude and effort. And that's actually something my father tells me before every single game. Control what you control, and that's your attitude and effort. So, that's something that I pride myself on, and being a hustle player. And as well as I had a mental flashback as well. My junior year of high school, it was a similar play. They ran a mesh concept behind me, and I kind of just saw it, and turned around and did the same thing.
Go ahead, Max Rago.
Hey, DeWayne. So yeah, just quick thing going off that with that fumble late in the fourth quarter. You guys seemingly needed a play. So how does it feel to be able to step up for your team in a situation where you kind of need something to be able to close that game?
No, it feels great. The play itself, it felt awesome. I'm not gonna lie, it felt great. But the biggest thing for me was coming back to the sideline and seeing guys jumping up and down, coaches jumping up and down, trainers jumping up and down. The sideline, I'm able to look up at my parents in the stands this year, see my mom going crazy. I wouldn't be, shocked if she wasn't crying. So that's just her thing. So it just meant the world to me to see that I can make that impact on so many people.
Nathan Ragunathan.
Yeah. Hello, DeWayne. I'm just a little curious. During the first half, the Duke defense seemed pretty strong. To start out the second half, it seemed like there was a little bit of a struggle early on when Andrew Marty came in for the Wildcats. I was just wondering your take on that. What about his game kind of made it difficult early on in that second half?
Yeah, so he was a good player, and they made their adjustments at the second half, and it seemed like they were just coming at us, which I feel like in the first half they're more sitting back, trying to throw the ball around a little bit, run different speed routes. Runs to the outside, and then the second half they were all coming downhill, and we come out a little flat. And I honestly attribute that to our youth, because we are 3 games in now. We're a young defense still. So we got to keep our foot on their necks and keep going, no matter what the score is. So.
Royal Howell.
Oh man, quick question. I wanted to know, the Duke defense came into this contest with 0 turnovers on the season. You guys had 5 turnovers in the ball game. Can you just speak on the 5 turnovers and what is it going to take for Duke to take the next step versus Kansas next Saturday, 4 p.m. here?
Yeah, so for sure. I know it was 5. That's pretty cool. Excuse me. But that was an emphasis for us this week. We came into Tuesday morning practice, our first practice of the week, and the coaches told us strip and hit. So we worked ODB drills, working on getting the ball out, peanut punches, pulls, whatever it is. That was the main emphasis for practice this week. So every guy knew their task, and we knew that our defense style is a get off attack style defense. So no turnovers through 2 games is not our style of defense. So that was a big emphasis, like I said it before. And it's just cool to see it work out because of how hard we worked in practice.
Jim Sumner.
Hey, DeWayne, Northwestern made a quarterback change late in the first half, and it really seemed to spark their offense. Did Marty bring something different to the table than Johnson? Or was it just a case of better execution?
Yes, sir. Honestly, when you look at the game plan, like I was talking about earlier with my teammates, actually, when they made the quarterback switch, we kept in the back of our mind, they all went through the same game plan. They all prepared the same. But I will say Marty, I feel like executed better. And he seemed like he was more of a hard-nosed kid. He wasn't afraid to duck his head and just run through the middle and everything else. So we had to adjust our game, and luckily it worked out.
Tom Shanahan.
Hey, DeWayne, first couple weeks, the defensive lineman talked about how you guys will get better with experience. Talk about what kind of progress you feel good about in this third game.
Yeah, so I feel like in progress this week was more about comfortability. Everybody seemed comfortable out there. Everybody's playing their game, and everybody just let it all go and left everything on the field. I mean, guys on the backfield just harassing the quarterback all day, havoc plays when they try to run the ball, screens but run all over the field. I mean, it's just good to see guys comfortable because I feel like this year, for me personally, is the first time I've been really comfortable out there, understanding the scheme, understanding the defense, understanding how teams are going to block me, et cetera. So, I mean, it's just great to see that our young guys are coming along, being comfortable out there.
Thank you for your time, DeWayne. We're going to transition to Gunnar Holmberg.
Thank you, guys.
Steve, go ahead.
Yeah, hey Gunnar. I want to start with the fast start on offense, particularly the 2 touchdowns, boom, boom, within the first 4 minutes there, and then the 30 points in the first half. What was going so well for you guys in the first half?
Yeah, I think just we're pretty familiar with this opponent. I think it's something that was a good advantage for us. We kind of we've had history with them in 16, 17, 18, and kind of knowing what they do and their tendencies a little bit. We liked our athlete matchups on the outside. Guys like Daryl, Bobo, Eli Pankel came up really big for us. But yeah, just really clicking on all cylinders and just having fun. I think whenever you're in a situation like that where you kind of have them on their heels and you can really call whatever and feel like you have the upper hand. And yeah, I think tempo too early on was a big part of that. A little bit of heat down in the South was something we were trying to use our advantage too early on. So yeah, I think those are things just clicking on all cylinders and just trying to really jump on them while we can.
Royal Howe.
Hey Gunnar, can you just speak on the 2 quarterback system that you guys are running? Does that help you get into a groove? How does it feel watching Jordan get into the game and just keep pushing offense, keep going, adding points on the board?
Yeah, no, I mean, I was telling him after the game, hats off to him. When I was a freshman, that I had peed on my leg doing that. So really just hats off to him. He's a great teammate, like a very confident kid. I love having him in the locker room. And he's able to make plays for us. So it's hard to keep him on the sideline when he can do that for us. And of course, every position gets tired a little bit. It's fun to kind of sit back and be able to watch the game from a distance here and there. So yeah, I think, love that guy. He's making big plays for us. And it allows me to really sit back and kind of see what they're doing.
Tom Shanahan.
Yeah, Gunnar, on the 3rd and 6 pass to Eli, you kind of drifted to the left and you had a lot of time there. You're in a nice low pocket and then you delivered the ball high where only Eli could get it. How much was that the play calling scheme and how much of that was adjusting to the defense?
Yeah, I think before that we had another play called and we didn't really like the look. And, Coach Cut and Coach Fair smartly called a timeout and got us into a play against a better look. Originally thought I was going to be able to hit Bobo, but they covered him well. And Eli kind of caught my eye in the last second and saw him coming across. He's a basketball player at heart, a dude that can jump high. And knowing your personnel, I think goes a long way. And being able to put it in a spot where I know he's going to get it. And he did it. He came up for us big. And the O-line gave me a lot of time, of course, to scan the field and really get the look that we wanted. And yeah, I mean, that's just a big time playmaker making a big time play.
Yeah, but on the rolling to the left, because you had so much time there, was that the defense, you adjusting to the defense, or is that the way the play was designed?
That was just adjusting to the defense. I think I saw the left DN drop out in the coverage and knowing that kind of as I'm scanning, I think it was just natural. My eyes kind of being over there. I'll have to look at it in film to see if it was really the right thing to do. But, for now, we're going to say it's a great play by the O-line and just kind of naturally how it worked out.
Thank you.
Jim Sumner.
Hey Gunnar, did it look like Northwestern made some adjustments at halftime on defense that caused Duke some problems? Can you speak to that?
Yeah, I mean, once again, hats off to them. A team that, we knew just wasn't just going to give up. That's a very prideful team that's coached well and has a lot of great playmakers on their defense. And yeah, I mean, they made adjustments. Some of it was us shooting ourselves in the foot. We had a couple turnovers in the second half, which you never want to have. A couple penalties that brought us back and stopped the drive and kind of stopped some momentum. And I think just, trying to get the energy back on our side, I think were things that we could have done better in general, regardless of, the corrections they made, because we can adjust to it as well. But yeah, I think just playing smart football is something we got to be better at. Knowing when a team's down, you can't get complacent, and really just, keep your foot on the pedal, is something that I think we're all going to learn from this.
Max Rego.
Yeah, hey Gunnar. I just want to ask, early in the game, you guys had a really aggressive mindset early on, especially that first play. And can you talk about, how long did you know that you guys were going to take that shot on the first play, during the week, and how that kind of boiled over into the rest of the game?
Yeah, I think just knowing their defense over time and knowing posts have been something that have been good for us against them in the past. Something that Daniel would hit a couple times against them. And had been successful, and knowing we have the personnel for it now. And I think throughout the week we were just kind of talking about just it's going to be a matter of how many of them we can hit. No, we're not going to go 100% on them, but just knowing if we can back them up, scare them a little bit, try and use our speed. That's a big thing, and the game will be determined by how many we do complete. And, we didn't complete a whole bunch, but we came out strong on it, and defense did their job. But yeah, I mean, Coach Ferris didn't tell me until this morning if I liked it as our first play, and I said, heck yeah. And Daryl Harding made a great play for us.
Thanks.
Last question for Gunnar. Steve Wiseman.
Yeah, Gunnar, in the second half, you guys didn't score any points, but you had to show some poise to get some key first downs there to kind of get, salt the game away. It started to get away from you guys. It got really tight at the end. What allowed you guys to show that poise and keep it all together?
Yeah, I think just something Coach Cut preaches a lot. Never get too high, never get too low. And I think we have a good amount of experienced players on offense. Thankfully, I think I'm a person who's naturally pretty calm in a lot of situations. And I think whenever guys see the quarterback like that, it kind of allows them to be calm and be poised. And I think guys trust the work and preparation they put in throughout the week. And, I think we knew how this story was going to end tonight, and we wanted to keep it in our favor. And just knowing whenever a play was there to be made in a clutch situation, just great to see us come up with it. Like talked about in that 3rd and 6 and being able to make a crucial first down through the air.
Okay, thank you for your time, Gunnar.
Thank you.
Good to go, Jack.
Coach, thank you for joining us. You'll get started with an opening statement, and then we'll field some questions.
A football game is a whole game, 4 quarters. Sometimes halves do look completely different, but what I look at is why or what happened in field position or lack of, and turnovers. We didn't do a very good job coming out of the locker room and getting field position on a kickoff return. I'm disappointed in that phase of our game. And so when things start happening, and you got to give Northwestern credit, they came out and carried the fight to us. But the game is a game of possessions. And the way you win the game is you got to understand and see crucial possessions and make it happen. And on both sides of the ball in the second half, after having a big lead, our guys fought their way back. So there's going to be a lot of value in studying the film. We're going to see a lot of things that we need to do better. We're going to see a lot of things that we did well. But a really good team victory, a lot of energy in the locker room. We played a lot of people, and we're going to continue to build on that. And we had a lot of people make critical plays on both sides of the ball, and in the kicking game. So I thought Porter picked it up, and, good punting and coverage played a role in this game. So, yeah, a lot of things to build on, a lot of things to study, and then a lot of things I'm sure we're going to need to correct, and we will focus on that starting tomorrow. Take your questions.
Steve Wiseman.
Yeah, coach, I want to start with the defense and forcing 5 turnovers and, how nice that was after, the first 2 weeks you hadn't been able to do that. And then specifically DeWayne Carter, rushing all the way down the field after that big game by the quarterback to knock that ball out and force that last turnover.
Yeah, that's one of the first plays I talked about in the locker room afterwards. Just an amazing effort play. We have talked and talked and talked defensively about stripping the ball, and the work we've done, I think, certainly paid off. But that's what a captain does. DeWayne stepped up in a huge way. That was a memento swing play, play that we needed somebody to make a play to win the game, and just could not have been more thrilled in seeing him happy. That was really a significant part of the game. And then overall, I thought we did a good job of mixing things up on their quarterbacks, coverage wise, and the players were in good positions, and, just really a heck of a game there. The 3 interceptions early, I think we confused them a bit. And so we just got something to build on there, and hopefully that becomes a habit.
Royal Howell.
Hello, Coach. You spoke briefly on playing a bunch of players this evening. Speaking of the backup quarterback, Andrew Marty, I believe, that came in and changed the game plan for your ball club. Can you just speak on briefly the second half game plan, and what's the overall identity of your football program?
Well, the program has been we got a great, an elite program. Our identity is a lot of things. It's on the field, it's off the field, it's character. This team's identity, I believe, is that they are a team, that they care a lot about each other. They provide each other a lot of energy. There's a closeness. I think this team is developing more and more chemistry. So it's going to take all parts of our team. We're a team that, 1 week the kicking game may have to help us win a ball game. Most of all, the next week it could be defense. The next week it could be offense. But I thought tonight, in different ways, all the 3 phases played a huge role. Do we need to correct a lot of things? Absolutely. But I thought their backup quarterback played really well. He ran a little better. He was athletic, but we can't give quarterbacks that much time. But when he had time, he was accurate. So, like I said, a lot to work on, a lot to build off of, but it was great to get the win.
Tim Sumner.
David, 2 weeks ago, your defense went on the field a couple of times, a chance to saw away a win and get the stops it needed. Today, after it got to 30-20, your defense went on the field time after time after time and got stops, forced a turnover, got a 4th down stop, forced some punts. What has happened in those 2 weeks to make this defense able to get those stops?
Yeah, I think it's hard work. Anybody that watches us practice, they know we practice with intensity and focus. And I mean, our guys have worked hard. I told them today, I said that any stress related with football should come from the practice field, not playing the games. If you prepare yourself, you can go cut loose playing the games, and any mistakes they make belong to me, because we're the people that are supposed to prepare them. But I just think it's been a tremendous effort on the staff's part, but certainly where the biggest part of effort comes in those players. And I think our practices have just continued to get better. And I also want people to realize that the guys that didn't play in the game, offensive backups that are running the opposing team's offense, plays a huge role in that, because they can see it at a speed and an execution level that makes it more like a game. So that's what I mean by the spirit of this particular team is working together, and a lot of people helping us find a way to be successful.
Okay.
Thanks, Rigo.
Hey, Coach. Obviously this is a program in Northwestern that you guys have had a lot of battles with in the past, especially during your tenure. How does it feel going into ACC play in a couple of weeks, knowing that you guys have this win in your back pocket? How much of a confidence boost?
Well, this is a big test. As you said, we've seen each other a lot, and it's a win that's important. It's a win over a Big Ten Power 5 opponent. We have had a bunch of physical battles with them, I admire their program. Those guys are going to be tough, well coached, very systematic in their approach. So it's a good indicator when you're playing well enough to beat a good Northwestern team, and something again that we can build off of. It's only as good as what you move forward with it Sunday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday of this week. But yeah, I think it's going to be important to us as far as the energy it provides to go prepare.
Tom Shanahan.
Hey, Coach, could you talk about that fourth down pass where it looked like your tight end might have been hit early? And then the other side, you guys get called for a pass interference. That could have been a devastating situation, maybe even costing the game. Talk about the plays and overcoming them.
Well, I think the thing when officiating, when calls are made and players erupt and coaches erupt, you're using energy that you may need to win the game later. So I just spent my whole time on both of those calls of trying to calm everybody down. And, you're having to think of all the things and the situations that might arise. You may have a 2-minute drill. You may end up getting behind. And on offense, you better be talking as a staff and coaching players up on what we're going to do in 2 minutes or what we're going to do if we get it back with a lead and how to stall it out. And what there's just, and so you just ignore them. I'm not pleased with our team having 10 penalties. And I'm sure we, committed most, if not all of those. So I don't really ever, comment on officiating. There's no reason to it. I thought the Big Ten crew was really a good communicating crew and professional, and you just go play.
Nathan Rager.
Yeah, hi, Coach. So in the second half today, we saw a lot of Jordan Moore. So I was wondering if you could speak to the strategy behind that and also kind of the development you've seen of his game over the season.
Yeah. Jordan gives us more of a what we call a +1 run threat. He's a heck of a runner. He's getting better and better at his ability to throw the ball, but he is a threat. Anytime he's out there, he's got speed. We've got to develop more and more of what he can do, but in situations, I think it's good to have him out there to get us started, to try to get your numbers right. But we all know that Gunnar's playing pretty dang well. But it's not an indicator. But again, I'll go back that, Gunnar's great with it. Gunnar wants to win. Gunnar is a humble, unselfish player. So we're going to play people that are putting themselves in position to help us win. And we're playing more people than we've played probably since we've been here. And I hope we can grow that number, to be honest with you.
Final 2 questions. Mitchell Northam.
Yeah, Coach, speaking on Gunnar, he had career highs today in attempts, completions, yardage. I mean, played pretty well from a quarterback position. Was that a combination of just what Northwestern was showing you on defense, or just kind of the confidence in him to let him kind of sling it?
Well, I mean, it's part of both. I mean, we're gaining more and more confidence in Gunnar as Gunnar gains confidence in himself and managing the passing game. He's a good thrower. He's got a really good arm. He's accurate. I think his reads are getting cleaner and cleaner. But also Northwestern did crowd the line of scrimmage. They put us in a situation where it was going to be difficult at times to run the football. There's no reason to be hard-headed. And we thought we had good matchups. I just wish we would have hit more than what we did down the field, because we liked our matchups going into the game, and thought Coach Ferris put us in position to have some success. Just, you can't miss by much, because missing by much is the same as missing by a lot. So we just got to connect on those a little more high percentage.
Final question for Coach Cutcliffe. Steve Wiseman.
Yeah, I want to ask you about the offense obviously didn't score in the second half, and it started to get away from them early with the 2 turnovers, but it seemed to show a lot of poise and, emotional maturity there to make the few plays they needed to win the game. Can you just kind of, assess how they did in that department?
Yeah, you can punch a panic button, and when things start going south, it's one of the things, and I heard players saying it, if the game or breaks go against you, don't let up, put on more steam. And, that's life. That's everything we do. We really practice that when we go to the practice field. We try our best to be a mentally tough, well-focused football team. And I thought our coaches on offense did a good job of kind of regathering, rally, and we kept playing a lot of players. And they believe in each other, and if we can maintain that, we can win some big games. That wasn't technically a fourth quarter win, but it was. I may have them put that on the wall because we won the game in the fourth quarter. We did. We were ahead, but we did win the game there. We did the things we had to do to win the game. So that's something always to build off of. Thank you.
Thank you for your time, Coach.